Happy Easter, everybody. I was born into the church and attended its school for 4.5 years. I was the only one in my family that went to church. After we transferred to a public school, I quit going to church. I always believed in Jesus, but only prayed when I thought I needed to. I was a little rebellious in my teens and always pushed the envelope. Then I got married, had 3 children, and after 7 years of marriage, went through a bad divorce. That's when I started a downward spiral. I was drinking heavily and driving. Many times I wondered how I got home. I remember driving over curbs and people's lawns, and once I even hit a fire hydrant. Jesus was obviously watching over me. After a few years, I quit drinking and bought a restaurant in Hayward, Wisconsin. 5 years later, they built a casino, and it took business away from a lot of the resorts and restaurants there. Mine was one of them. I finally moved back to Illinois and married my high school sweetheart. 2 years ago, we both lost our jobs when we were on the verge of losing our home. My sister, Michelle, always invited me to come to her church, Bloomingdale Church, and that she was praying for us. I did a couple of times and thought it wasn't for me. Jesus could not help me. He would not help me. Now it was close to us having to get out of the house, and I thought things couldn't get any worse. Again, my sister asked me to come to church and told me to hang in there because God would come through in the 11th hour, and his timing is perfect. I still didn't believe her, but went to church that next Sunday and really prayed that Jesus would help us. And guess what? My husband found a better job, and we found a house to rent that accepted our 3 dogs. That is when I became a believer in Jesus Christ and put all my trust in him, and then I needed him. He is my Savior. I also started going to Women's Break Group and Alpha. Both of them have helped me understand that Jesus died on the cross for us. Having Jesus in prayer in my life helps me through the hard times. I have a peace and joy in my life now that I haven't had in many years. Looking back over my life, I realize how lost I was without Jesus and how grateful I am now that I have accepted Jesus Christ in my life and my heart.